So these are all the books I acquired in May. It's just crazy how many good books I found in secondhand shops. And also on car boot sales. I'm sorry to say this, but quite a few of these are from there. So it's going to be a lot to go through, for sure. I'm sorry if you hear background noise. It's either my husband or our neighbor. Hi, hello, Renata here. Come on. We are here with Poppy. Oh, sorry. Come. There we go. So we are here with Poppy to show you all the beautiful books we got in May. Thank you for not ripping off my necklace. Thanks. So we found quite a lot of good books, and I think it's going to be quite a long video, but I'm super excited because most of them are books I wanted to have myself. So let's get into it and have a look on them. I don't even know where to start from. Probably I will get over with the biggest one. Yeah. So I found, we have been in one of the English heritage sites, and I have seen this book there, but I decided I'm not going to buy it because it looks a little bit like for kids. I'm a big kid. And funny enough, I found it in one of the car boot sales for a fraction of the price. So I decided then I'm going to have it. So it's the Dragonology book. It's all about dragons, and it's quite interesting because it's an interactive book. Let me show you one of the pages. There you go. So like they have dragon skin. Of course it's not real. Or I don't know what is this exactly. I haven't found out what is sling. If you know which part of sling membrane where it is meant to be on the dragon, I would appreciate if you can comment it down below, because I don't know what sling is. So it's a very interesting book. I like it. I love dragons. So, and also my little nieces, they love dinosaurs. So maybe we can have a look through this book about dragons. And then I will probably continue with these little hardbacks. Hello. Hi. Come on, sit up here. So I found quite a lot of books about witches. So we have the real Witch's Year. I found this. I have found the Apprentice of Witches spell books, and I must show these because they are absolutely beautiful books. The quality, the illustrations, the subjects, it's just pretty. So this one, also the secrets of high magic, and it's a vintage edition. Again, this is such a pretty book with beautiful decorations, illustrations, and also the paper quality is much nicer than in a normal book. And I found the Book of Spells, again a vintage edition. And are you happy up there? And this is pretty as well. So So we already started to read some of the little pieces from inside with my husband, because it's very fascinating. You know, all these witches, magic. So I like that, and they are pretty books. Do you like them? Then I found, and I have to find the other one, which is, I don't know where it is. Oh no, actually I showed it last time. I was talking about the Ashbourne illustrated books, and this is the illustrated stories from Dickens. Yes, that's the other one I found again, and that was £2.50, and it's beautiful. So I read and know quite a lot of Dickens stories, but I never read Oliver Twist and David Copperfield. So I'm excited to read them. Also, as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm collecting classic adventures, these books, and I was lucky enough to find 3 more. So this is the Scarlet Pimpernel. This is the 5 on a Treasure Island, and this is Tom Brown's School Days, and they are in pristine condition, so I'm quite happy to grow my beautiful collection of these books. So I got that. How are you? Are you having a good time? Yes, I think she is. Right, and let's move on with some of the paperbacks. Sorry, Poppy. Nana just needs to grab some of the books. So I got It Only Happens in the Movies. I didn't read the synopsis, but it looks quite fun. I presume this is a kind of rom-com. Bad boys turned good, kisses in the rain, climbing through bedroom windows. It only happens in the movies. Yeah, there you go. So I got this one. I also got The Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I still did not read any of her books. I know she is like an icon nowadays in on BookTok and BookTube, but I am a little bit intimidated with the amount of work and the length of her books. So I'm quite scared to get into, and also I have a slight fear of missing out with all the other books. So I am scared that if I start to read her books, I will going to be get into the story and not reading anything else. So yeah, if you have any suggestion which book to start with to get into her realm and her world, I would like to hear about it. Which book did you start with to get on the Sarah J. Maas journey? And we can start there. Oh, what is it? Every single time when I'm talking, she's like, what am I watching like this? It's so cute. And then I got Number 10 by Sue Townsend, and this is just a funny story, so I wanted to read something lighter. I think this is the last missing book from my Chris Carter collection, and I realized when I got it that it has a slight imperfection on the front cover, but I don't mind. I'm happy to read as it is. So this is Written in Blood, and I got to my husband Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. This is a self-help book. I got A Sky Beyond the Storm. This is the 4th book in the Amber and the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. And I read the first 2 books. I started the 3rd one, and this is the 4th. And I would like to have them on my shelves, so I got the 4th one, but I have to find the other 3. Then I I don't know, someone left it in a charity shop altogether, these. I'm quite a big fan of Agatha Christie. When I was around 13 years old. Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was that was my watch. So I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie, and when I was 13 years old, in our little village local library, they had all of her works in a very old buttered paperback. And I remember I used to be a member of that library and took out all of her works and read all of them in Hungarian. Also, I'm a big fan of Miss Marple and Poirot. I have seen, I don't know how many times, all of the TV series. I know them by heart nowadays. And I have a collection in red. I think it's just a mock leather bound, but it's very beautiful, and I have all of her works in those red covers, with those red covers. So when I have seen these, I decided that I'm going to get them, and they were just a pound each. So this is the Christie Affair by Nina de Gramont. And also these are, if I'm right and if I read it right, this is not the actual Poirot, but Sophie Hannah started to write new ones, I think, because what I read about it is it's that Sophie Hannah's take about the Hercule Poirot series. So this is the Monogram Murders, The Mystery of Three Quarters and Closed Casket by Sophie Hannah. So I'm looking forward to read these and explore someone else's work on Hercule Poirot. So I was quite lucky to get these four together. Then I found these Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Whoa, ruining the books. Also found The Last Wish. This is the first book from the Witcher series. And found Rebel of the Sands by Alvin Hamilton. This is a very fascinating book. And also nowadays I read quite a lot of books happening in the Middle East, in the Arabian desert, so I'm quite happy about that book. Also, I heard about this book quite a lot. This is slightly different than what I'm usually reading, but I love Mexico, so why not? This is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. And lots of people are raving about it. So when I have seen the copy, I decided to have. Then I think it's just a beginning of a good friendship with Neil Gaiman, because I really like the Stardust, and also I really like the Sandman, his works. So I got Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. And let's grab another stack of books, because it's quite a lot of them. But there we go. Then I got, this is again a self-help book. It's Byron Katie's A Mind at Home with Itself. It's about finding freedom in a world of suffering. Then I found The Highly Sensitive Person by Elaine N. Aaron. And the next book is one of the first self-development books I read. And for this day, I really like his works, and we have a copy at home. I grabbed this book because every single time when we want to give someone a book that means something for us and we want them to read it, this is one of the books we search for. So I said to my husband, maybe we should just keep an extra copy at home, because we're always giving away our copies. But it's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, and this is just a very, very, very good book about self-discovery, about meaning of life. Yeah, if you ever find a copy or if you find it on Kindle, get into it. You don't have to read from cover to cover, because you can just jump in, but it has a very good story. It's about a CEO who gets some life lessons, and honestly, by telling what is it about, it sounds slightly similar like Christmas Carol, but on a different level. So I would recommend this for sure. Then I have quite a lot of Lisa Gardner books at home, and this is The Third Victim. I don't have this. I read most of her books, what I have in my library already, and I really enjoy it. It's a crime book, or thriller. Then I got Truth or Dare by M.J. Arledge. Again, I have quite a lot of his or her book. Sorry, the name doesn't say is she or he. Then I found Ugly Love by Colin Hoover, and this was just, I wanted to see what Rick Riordan about. Is the Percy Jackson. Everybody talk about Percy Jackson, and I must tell you, we did not have Percy Jackson in Hungary, so I don't know what's the series about. And this is one of the books. The plot is in the same word as Percy Jackson's, so I wanted to see what is it, because everybody's favorite book from childhood is Percy Jackson. So I know Harry Potter is very good, and I'm excited to try this too. Then The Last Namsara was on my wish list for a while, and I found it in one of the charity shops, so I can delete it from Vinted now. Then I found, is it just one book in this series? Oh no. Anyway, we will go and skip that. I read a few Steve Kavanagh book before, and this is The Devil's Advocate. So I decided to grab this because I really, really liked his books. Yeah, I read 13 and Twisted, and I think I read 50/50 as well. Yeah, it was a very good thriller. So I got that. I got this to my husband, Wide Things. It's about supernatural things. He used to read a lot of books like this, so why not? Then I got Mosquito Land by David Arnold, and the reason why I got this, because it's about a girl who travels alone, and I'm just excited to read again a little bit about traveling. Last year I read quite a few of them from Hungarian writers, because I was stuck with the house and I missed traveling, so I read a few books from fellow travelers. Then I got Colin Hoover's Verity. I listened to this in an audiobook form, and I quite enjoyed it, so I decided to have it on my bookshelf. I know a lot of people try to keep the bookshelves not too crammed, but for me, having these books on my bookshelf representing my taste and my soul. So that's the reason why I get books that I already read or I'm reading and I like, because I would like to have a bookshelf that that is a representation of me. Then this is another hyped up series now. It's the Inheritance Games. I found the first book and I'm going to read it or listen it. Depends on where can I find it, or just read this copy. A lot of people likes it, so I'm excited to get into this. Then this is I mean, I'm not going to tell more. The Diary of a Bookseller by Sean Bethel. And it's just a very pretty book, and it's about a book shopper, what daily struggles, what different kind of customers comes in. So I'm just excited to see, to get into that world. One of my big dreams would be to work in either Waterstones or Works, but I know I have issues to settle down, so I would rather not leave anybody in trouble just because I stand up and go away to trouble. But yes, it's just, this is an interesting book. Then I got Cornelia Funke's Ink Spell. Then I got, oh, okay, I did not realize that I got the first book as well, The Amber in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. So I need to find the second and the third book. I read this one, and as I said, I would like to have the books that I enjoyed on my bookshelves. Then To Kill the Kingdom, that's again another book everybody raves about, and I found Alexander Christo's Into the Crooked Palace book, so I got this. I still have to get the other book. And then, sorry, I ruined it already because it was from Works, and they put those stickers on, and I was I did not want to keep it on, but sadly it took off some of the design from the cover. So this is Cinder and Scarlet. It's a retelling. Then it's all going to be white books because I was silly enough to put all these books away in the book stacks, and I had to take them away from there, and they were color coordinated. So now this room looks just a mess, but anyway, we will get there. I will going to sort it out soon. Then I got everything. Then I got the Once and Future Wishes. That's again, the lady who was selling it, she said she really enjoyed it, so I have seen this book quite a lot, so I decided to get it. And the writer wrote 10,000 Doors of January, and I was eyeing that book for quite a while because that story was very interesting, so I'm looking forward to read this. And I have two more series here, which is quite popular. Never read anything from Brandon Sanderson, and I found the Mistborn trilogy all together in one shop. So I got this The Final Empire, Hero of Ages, and The Well of Ascensions. Maybe I pronounced that badly, sorry about that. So I got this, and I also got the first two books from The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And again, a lot of people raving about these books. Then I got The Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And also, these are the books I already collected from these writers. One of them is Breakneck by Erika Spindler. I read quite a lot of her books, and I did not have this one in my collection. Also, the Judas Kiss and number 14 by G.T. Ellison, and again I read a few of her or his books, so I'm looking forward to read those. Then I got Evermore by Sarah Holland, and I have the first book in this series, so now I can finish it. And I have Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Also, I got 18th Abduction by James Patterson, because I love the Women's Murder Club series. I have most of his books. I don't have the 18th of Abduction, so I got this one. And I think I read those books up until 10 or 13, something like this, so I read a lot. Then I will going to move a couple of things in here to grab almost, it's the second to last stack what I'm going to get. Poppy, are you all right? So, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, that trilogy, I was missing, yes, I was missing the last one, which is Dreams of Gods and Monsters, and I found it in a beautiful hardback, so now I have two different versions. But anyway, the trilogy at least is completed. I also found The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Susan Collins, and I read The Hunger Games, I think before I watched the movies, and I'm really looking forward to read this book because it's about Snow, the evil man, and about his early ages. Also, I found It Starts With Us by Colin Hoover, and I have the other book, which is, if I'm right, the lady said this is the second book, and It Ends With Us is the first book from these two. So I got that one. I got Girl A by Abigail Dane, and I also got this beautiful edition of Hamnet. I have a paperback one, so I'm going to give it away, and this is the hardcover, and this is The Grace Keepers. It's about a floating circus and a girl with a bear visiting that circus sometimes, and she's living in a boat with the bear. So it's very very fairy tale like again. The first Kalanish knew of the circus Excalibur was the strip silk of their sails against the grey sky. Ships arrived a dozen a day in the archipelagos, and Kalanish knew, I think Kalanish is the girl, knew that the circus folk would have to fight for their place on her island. In a world that is almost entirely sea, placing your feet on land was a privilege that must be earned. So it's just very, very interesting. I keep telling about every book, it's very interesting, but you know, when you love reading, you want to read everything. I mean, not everything, but everything you are interested in. This is the Geographer's Library, and this is a beautiful edition. And it's about, I got Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. It's about Eleanor and about her life. The description was quite good. I got this beautiful edition, and honestly, I have seen this book for like a month, more than a month in the same shop. So I said to myself, if I'm going to find it there again, I'm going to buy it, because it's meant to be, to have it. So that's the way how I talking out myself in the situations when I have too many books. I got Monsters of Man by Patrick Ness. This is, I think, the third book in the series, but it was just 50 pence, and I know a lot of people reading. Yeah, this is the third book. A lot of people really reading this series, so I'm interested again in this one too. Then I have a Piranesi already, but again I found a beautiful edition again, so I decided to swap my paperback and have this instead of. So I'm going to make some donations to my local charity and give away my unwanted copies. Then I got The Ultimate Christmas Cracker, and this is just a beautiful book. I got The Snow Child, and again I have seen this book, not this edition but this book, quite a lot, and I decided if I see it again I'm going to buy it, because you know, when it's nagging in your brain and it's keep coming into your way. Then I got this beautiful book, Poems to Live Your Life By, and it's by Chris Riddle. And I must show you how does it looks like inside. It's just so pretty. It was a long time ago when I read poems, so I would like to get back into it, but I love Shakespeare sonnets, but quite a lot of poems make me sad, so I decided to have a lighter one, and I have seen this copy and it's just absolutely stunning. I like it. Then I got this from TK Maxx, The Secret Garden, and it's a beautiful edition. I have a few of them already. This was a very, very good book. I really liked it. And look at the illustrations. And believe it or not, it was only £5. So it was the only one. So I decided I'm going to grab it. Then I got Dark Fairy Tales of Fearless Woman. This is again a beautiful edition. I got it from Vinted. It has some illustrations and yeah, some creepy ones. Then my husband found this, Anecdotes of the Habits and Instincts of Animals, and this is quite an old book from, I think from why is it no date in it, but definitely early 1900s, because I have quite a lot of antique books, and this looks like 1910, 1920, something like that, but it's just beautiful. Then I got Anne of Green Gables, and this again, I got it for £1 in a charity shop. It was hidden by a lot of different books, and I was just seeing this little part peeking out, and I took away all the books from front and I realized what is it, and it's just so pretty. I never read or seen the movies, so it's going to be a good fun. Then I collect fairy tales, Andersen and Grimm fairy tale books. I have like 6, 8 or 10 of them, quite a few, and I was lucky. I found this one for £2 in a charity shop. This is just so pretty. and it's again illustrated. I just got this in the post. Oh, Poppy. Hi. Look, you can have a sniff. Hmm? Oh, okay. Look at this. This is the second book in the Twin Crowns series. It's about the twins. So I got it from Waterstone because every single time, for example, so unfinished the sentence. Every single time when I don't get what I have seen there and I really liked, they sold out, they sell out, and I can't find it anywhere, or the price increases like crazily. For example, I have seen like 3 weeks ago, they had Emily Henry's Happy Places in hardcover, signed by her, and I really enjoyed The Book Lovers by her. So I wanted to have that because it was a signed edition with sprayed edges, hardback, beautiful special edition. And when I decided, okay, I'm gonna go and buy it, what did I realize? They don't sell it in the shops, and online they were sold out. And I have seen the same book going around on the internet for £30, 30, when it was only $16.99 when it was new in the shops. So yeah, I was quite upset. But anyway, I will read it in paperback or online, and that's it. But I decided to grab this, and it's beautiful, and I will have, or actually I have the first one in ebook, so I can read it basically. I think, but I have to check. Oh yeah, good. It's signed by them. There we go. And we are going to be on the last leg now. So I got most of these books are anyway second-hand, so like from charities, car boot sales, or Vinted second-hand pages or second-hand bookshops. But I have a couple of them which is new. For example, this one is brand new because I got it, or The Secret Garden is brand new. And I got The Bright and Pale by Jessica Rubinkovsky in this pretty edition. This is a Fairy Loot one, so it's signed and has a reversible. Is it reversible? Oh no, it's just an artwork in inside, and also an embossing on the front. So I got this. I also got this Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. It's again a Fairy Loot edition. So, yeah, it is. Where is it? So it's signed by the author, and I just love this. And it has again some artwork inside of the dust jacket. Also, I got the Whispering Dark, and this is just so pretty. Sometimes Fairy Loot, this is Illumicrate. Sorry, Illumicrate. So sometimes Fairy Loot and Illumicrate does a good job on the sprayed edges, and sometimes they are so, I don't know, kind of boring. I would prefer when they do some decorations on the edges. And again, this is just a very pretty book. And also, it's a well-loved book. And there you go. This is a reversible dust jacket. Finally, I keep telling on every single one, and they are not. But this is with the reversible dust jacket. I got. And I will check it now before I say anything, so I don't say something silly. So I got Spice Road by Fairy Loot. Again, this is again give me that Middle Eastern vibe. And this is a reversible dust jacket as well. And I will take out the book because this book is a great example of Fairy Loot doing an amazing job. I would love to have this book on display like this, but I would have to keep the curtains closed on my windows, fear of fading out on this book. So I think it's going to stay in the dust jacket like this. Anyway, this is still amazing and beautiful. And also the lady sent me the Fairy Loot letter with it because it's secondhand. I got Alone With You in the Ether, and this is a damaged one, slightly damaged, but I don't mind because it's still gone through the dust jacket, but somehow the gilding on the front is just hiding it. I don't know what's happened, but it was £6 plus postage. And a lot of people are raving about this too, so I was quite happy to get it. And this one is custom painted, and this is the She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. And I think this is just a normal hardcover because from the outside it looks normal, but the seller was customized the edges. So, or actually it was sprayed, the edges were sprayed, but they just painted these cloud designs on, and it's not signed if I'm right, because it was just sprayed. Yeah, so it's a kind of special edition, but it's not signed. And this book was in the charity shops for like half a year since I gone there, and it was calling me. It's just, you know, when they spend money on making the cover look like this, I just want to get into it. And I was putting it down every single time when I was there, and I keep telling myself, no, if I see it again, I may buying it. And last time I just said to myself, okay, it's just only £1, but it still looks very intriguing. Two Nights in Lisbon by Chris Pavone. It's just so cool. It looks like snakes or more like even I'm not sure whether it's a snake or more like little cobblestones. So, and it has some praises from Lee Child, Stephen King, Megan Abbott, John Grisham, so Karin Slaughter. So I'm interested to read this too. And last but not least, I got two amazing books secondhand, and I'm so happy that I was able to get them. But first, sadly my Illumicrate box did not arrive on time for this video, so it's gonna be in the next video, or if it's going to come, I don't know, today or tomorrow before I edit this video and upload it, I may going to include that too. But Fairy Loot came out, and I have seen Crate came out with the same book for May, came out with an amazing book. It's Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and when I opened it, this is my third book from Fairy Loot, and this was this is probably the best ever book. Yeah, I would say, and I'm showing you why. It's about two rival journalists. It's about a girl who is writing to her brother, who is going to fight in a war against the gods, or on the same side as the gods. And she is writing letters to her brother, but sadly not her brother is the one who is reading those letters. That is her rival, a guy, another journalist, and they start to write to each other. So it's about pen paling, basically. It's about journalists. So the actual vibe of the book, the cover and the story is just looks amazing. So probably this is going to be the next book on my list after finishing The Stardust Thief, because it's just such a pretty book. So this is from Fairy Loot. Do you want to have a sniff? Do you? But don't lick it, please. And the last two books are, apart from this, those are my most precious books from now on. In here, if I look at my books as read them and like them the most, and had them in special, because I was so happy to get them. Sorry, they are in boxes. I tried to cover them up so I don't want them to fade. Actually, they are both normal hardback covers, but they are both signed. And I have one copy like this already, but this is signed by her. And also the cover is different because mine inside has a small paper scroll, and this is with the dragon. And I was so happy. So happy. I already started to read Once Upon a Broken Heart again, and started to go through, highlight every single passage I really like, because it's full of those. And also, I don't know whether you have seen it, but Fairy Loot announced that they're going to have a pre-sale in I think on September 14th of September. So I'm quite excited because they're going to, I don't have the Fairy Loot edition, and I don't think I ever going to buy that because it's quite expensive. I think it's around on online secondhand it goes around £300 for the two books, but I would like to have the third one. And because I already have a Fairy Loot subscription, I can pre-order it. So I'm looking forward to have the chance in September. But I started to read Once Upon a Broken Heart again because that's my go-to book. If I feel like I have to just delve into something where I can lose myself, really lost myself, and I don't have to be disappointed, or I know that book and I know it's going to make me feel on a certain way. So that's the reason why I started to read again. And on Vinted I found an American edition. A girl was selling it, and honestly, it's just, their books are quite pretty as well. It's just a little apple in the corner, but the reason why I got it, because I was thinking I have the hardcover already, because this was signed as well. So I got this one first, and then I found The Ballad of Never After signed too. So I will going to probably give away my hard copy, The Ballad of Never After, because I don't need that. And I will keep these in covered because I want to be sure nothing happens to these books. But I have seen Waterstone is coming out with Ballad of Never After in paperback, because I haven't seen that book in paperback. I don't know how everybody read it. I mean, enlighten me. Sorry if I'm sorry about my ignorance, but I just got them this year. So I got Once Upon a Broken Heart from Works in January, and I read The Ballad of Never After in hardcover, which I got from Amazon, but I haven't seen The Ballad of Never After in paperback. So I don't know whether you can actually buy it already, or how everybody read it. Where did you get your copy from? Because I haven't seen a paperback about the second book. So I'm quite looking forward to have just a normal paperback from Waterstone, so I can have my highlighted and well used Once Upon a Broken Heart, and when I'm rereading the second book as well, I can read the paperback. And I can keep these precious ones now in the box, and when I take them to Hungary, on the shelves. So this was my very huge book haul. I still have a few books to show, and I'm going to grab them in a second and show them, because they are quite special too. But I'm looking forward to hear from you, and yeah, I will go and grab the other books. I have some more beautiful books here, and I got these from a lady. Actually, these 6 were from a lady on a car boot sale, and she said she got all of these books on an auction together with other books, but she sold most of them to a London movie company to have as a prep. But she had a box full of old books, and I really loved these 6. And I must tell, these are mostly for filling up my shelves, and I also feel obligated to save these antique books. Some of them I can't read because I don't understand Dutch or Danish, so I can't speak the language, and I have German, I have I think I have Italian antique book as well, but they were so pretty, and she sold them for a very, very reasonable price, and quite a few of them are from the era of 1860 and 1870, so quite old ones. So this is the first one, and I'm not going to be able to read out the title because honestly, no way. Well, you can see. And this is from 1932. So, and it's in very good condition compared to some of the books. They look very bad after a couple of years. Sadly, it's leather bound, but honestly, back then that was the way to make books. And I got this one, and Epistle to the Romans. Okay, so that sounds English, but I don't have high hopes. I don't think this is, no, it's not English. It's French. And it's 1879. So it's, no, I'm just showing you, but I'm not sure what I'm showing you. So this is a French one. There you go. And it had some gilt, I think, on the edges, but it's gone. But I got these 6 books for £5, so that's nothing. I really love the spine of this one, and this is from 1870. Holberg's Comedier, and I think this is one of the Dutch books she was talking about. Then I got okay, I can't read this, but it's still very pretty. It was very popular back then, this marble effect, and this is from 1927, and that's the first page. Again, it's almost whiter than some of my paperbacks from 2 years ago. And then how we are, okay, so this is going to be the last one. I got this one, and this is from 1865. Again, I think it's Dutch, because we were talking about whether is it German or Dutch, but I think it's Dutch, because German, I can read that. I mean, I don't understand it, but I can read it. And this one, I came home and it was, I was intrigued by this book, because I know nowadays it's very popular to make the edges, this, I don't know what's the proper name, what's the term, but it's like a rough cut. So, you know, no, it's not smooth like most of the books. It's you can feel how the paper was cut in half. So it's, there you go, you can see it. And yeah, the top is very smooth, and this part is very rough, and also it's very rough in here. So I really like this, and it's a very pretty book on its own. But we came home, and I haven't seen that. I didn't realize when we were watching, when we picking the books up, that that this is special. So this is the front page. I really like the idea to have a picture of the author, but and it's from 1916. Yes, there we go. But why is it very special? If I am not mistaken, this is the signature of the author and the number of this book. So it says, because I tried to translate this, but all together it was printed in 525 copies, and this is number 312. So basically this is like 110 years old fairy loot book, basically. I never ever found an antique book with a signature, so it looks rough, it looks well worn and a little bit beaten up, but this is so special to me because it's signed by the author, so that's just crazy. Look, and this is proper proper ink, so it's just crazy. There you go. Then I found for a hot 50p again, found this beauty, and this is, if you can believe it, this is a calendar from 1978, and the reason why I got it because they did not use it, and every single page has some art, and I'm not sure whether is it anecdotes or just silly life situations, or meant to be some jokes. But I really like them, and I appreciate that somebody got this but did not use it for every day. And the other thing, 1978 and 2023, when I last checked, May was on the same day than in 1978, so I could use this today, but I obviously not going to ruin it. And the very last book, and I think I can say this is definitely the last one, is this beautiful book about Art Deco. And the reason why I got this, because I really like that era. I love the furnitures, the little trinkets that comes from that era. It's very pretty, and every single time when I watching TV programs going back to that era or talking about that, it's just fascinating for me. And I never ever had any coffee table book before, but I wanted to have something something to look at, and I'm quite sad because I have found another book, but I didn't get it. It was about mountains, but photographed from above. So they had the book had beautiful pictures about mountains. But I was thinking about, you know, if you want to see the mountains from above, go to Google Earth and you can see it. But that's, you know, that's different because it was art. So, but about this book, this is just awesome. And it's full of amazing pictures about different furnitures and lamps. I have seen, if you ever watched Antique Roadshow, I have seen this one quite a lot. Sorry, hiding behind the book. So this one. So it's full of these beautiful pictures about the different furnitures and trinkets and ceramics, lamps. It is just something to, you know, flip through if I want to just casually check something out. And sometimes it's just nice. I like looking at pictures, but nowadays with the internet, I go towards Googling it rather than having a book with beautiful pictures. So when I seen this for a very hard 50p again, I decided that I'm going to get it and just have it on my table because it's nice. And sometimes, you know, you have to take it, put down your phone and enjoy books. So this is the last book. I had quite a good variety this month as well, and some exciting books, some very well treasured and very precious books I got. So thank you very much for sitting through my rambling about these books. And if you have any from these what you really liked, I would like to hear from about your experience reading that book, and also if you can help me out with the Sarah Jamas books, which one to jump into, where to start, because as I said, it's quite intimidating for me. Also, Colin Hoover books, which is the best one, because the only one I read so far is Verity, and I have a few now, and I would like to see what people say about what the people who watch my videos say about Colin Hoover. So again, thank you very much to sitting through, and see you next time. Bye bye.